Om. Om Krim Galike Nama. 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 Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit. Thank you so very much for joining me for our Friday Puja and Satsang. Tonight is our monthly Chod practice. This will be a Chod-based meditation to the third form of Kali in the Kathmandu Valley, Dakshinkali. And this will be a meditation for navigating difficult times. Need to start out with the usual legal disclaimer. This presentation is for educational purposes only and does not claim to diagnose, prevent, or cure any diseases or disorders. The advice and methods in this presentation should not be construed as financial, medical, or psychological advice or treatment. Please seek advice from a professional if you have a serious financial, medical, or psychological issue. And by watching and or participating in this presentation, you understand the results are not guaranteed. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred from the practices or meditations contained in this video. Again, welcome and namaste. Anybody who's tuning in right now, please feel free to say hello using the chat function on the bottom of your screen. A couple of quick announcements. This coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. will be the next installment of our series, Kali for Everyone. And this will be a puja and a satsang to the form of Kali known as Kalaratri, the night of darkness. And then a week from today, next Friday, also 7 p.m., will be part 51 of our 64 Yogini series, and we'll be honoring the goddess Javalamukhi. As always, you're very welcome to join us live on YouTube for either of these. And you're also welcome, if you're in the Denver area, to come join us in person at our temple, 1260 South Xavier Street in Denver, Colorado. So again, tonight, this is Ma Dakshinkali Chosadhana for strength, during difficult times. In this session, we'll be looking to focus our awareness on navigating times of difficulty with the help of the Divine Mother. And even though this is the holiday season, this can be a difficult time of year for a lot of people, especially with the shorter days and much longer nights. This is a modification of a meditation from the book Chod-Based Demystified by Baal Kedman. Instead of offering ourselves to one of our inner demons, we instead will give ourselves to a form of Ma Kali for the purpose of restoring balance in our lives through the transformation of malevolent energies. In this series within a series, I've modified this practice to honor 4 forms of the goddess Kali for whom this temple is dedicated. We've been working with a different archetype during this 4-month period. The first was for Ma Sveta Kali, the white Kali. Last month it was Bhadra Kali, the benevolent mother. Today, Ma Dakshinkali, the wrathful protector. Next month will be the sum total of those 3 Mahakali, the combined forces for self-empowerment. Ma Dakshinkali, her name means the Kali of the southern direction. And this is also the realm of Lord Yama, the god of the underworld and the god of death. In Nepal, her temple is located south of Kathmandu, near the town of Pharping. She is a goddess of blood sacrifice, and I'll be saying a little bit about that later during our meditation. If we look at this particular image of Ma Dakshinkali, she is in many ways the wrathful of the wrathful. She is standing upon Lord Shiva. She is crouched in a birth-giving position, and yet we see this long structure here. She has taken viscera from the abdomen of Lord Shiva, and she's feeding upon it. She is holding a kartika, or flaying blade, in this first hand, a kartika like this one. This represents the cutting away of ego attachments. She is holding Kali's sword, and Kali's sword is used in the fighting of she's fighting against our inner demons. And she holds a small shield in this hand here. And Kali's sword is an invincible weapon. If you have Kali's sword, you can't lose. So this little shield that she's holding is for the protection of her children. And she's holding the severed head of a demon. She's also wearing a necklace of severed heads. By tradition, this is 50 in number, and they represent the 50 sounds of the Sanskrit alphabet. So she is very much a goddess of the power of the word, and especially the power of mantra. She's holding a kapala, or skull bowl, rather like this one here. This represents the transformation of our consciousness. And she's holding this piece of viscera with her remaining hand upon which she is feasting. And like the other Kalis of the Kathmandu Valley, we see a real intense syncretism between Hinduism and Vajrayana, that is Tibetan Buddhism. She's wearing the 5-skull crown, for example, that represents the transformation of 5 poisons into 5 wisdoms. She also has a halo of fire. This is similar to other Tibetan images where the deity is surrounded by an archway of fire. And this represents, like in this Tromanagmo here, this represents both the enlightenment of consciousness and also fire being a transformative, a transmutational element as well. In the center of her of her forehead is a third eye. Her consciousness is in this realm and in other realms as well. So that's the symbolism of Ma Dakshinkali. Our practice tonight will be given as a guided meditation, and since this is a visual process, you can use this traditional image on your screen of Ma Dakshinkali as your personal meditational focus. Just focus on the statuette and be aware of what the image invokes for you. I'm going to show you another image. This is a very old one of Dakshinkali. This is actually a stone temple sculpture. Found this my first time in Nepal in 2010. And instead of the kartika or flaying blade, in this case, she's holding the trident, representing the powers of creation, preservation, and destruction. Anyway, back to our satsang. This practice, by the way, can be done for any deity of your choosing. And so you're welcome to make this style of meditation your own, add your own modifications in the future. You can set up a meditation like this for yourself, structured in the same way for a deity of your choosing. And if you choose to do this, having a picture or statuette of your chosen deity will be very helpful. You'll also need to know a mantra for your deity. And the mantra we'll be using tonight is the one that we used for our puja. Om Krim Kalake Nama. Krim is the seed syllable for Kali herself. Kalake, her name. And this is a very protective mantra. So with that, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. And let's begin by closing our eyes and breathing deeply. And as you sit, maybe you're seated on your mat with a cushion under your hips, or maybe you're in a straight back chair. Either way is perfectly fine. But take a moment to make any adjustments and micro adjustments that you might need so that you can be comfortable, preferably with your back straight and your chest open. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest so your breaths can be full and deep. And this is typically a seated meditation, but it can also be done lying on your back in Shavasana as well, if that's more comfortable for you. As you breathe deeply, breathe out the concerns of the day and those thoughts of yesterday and tomorrow. Just breathe away all of those things that might stand in the way of you experiencing this meditation to its fullest extent. And with each in-breath, breathing in a deeper sense of relaxation, and most importantly, a focus on the present moment. As stated earlier, I said that this is a meditation for strength during difficult times. And so now I invite you to think about a situation in your own life where you're currently experiencing some kind of difficulty. Maybe a situation where you need some insight, or you need healing physically, mentally, spiritually, or some other form of resolution. So I invite you to think about your personal issue. Maybe try to visualize it. Think about certain words that are related to your personal issue. And finally, try to notice where you feel this issue in your physical body. Maybe it's an area of tension. Maybe you feel empty in that area or cold. Or maybe it's just some region of your body that you're just drawn to intuitively. But breathe into that area, focus your breath there. And while you focus on not just the sights and the words associated with your issue, but the feelings, I invite you to take some time to acknowledge that the Divine Mother, not just in the form of Dakshinkali, but in all of her forms, is always there to guide you toward the resolution and restoration of peace that you currently need in your lives. And also take a moment to acknowledge that in taking part in tonight's practice, you're taking an important step in receiving that healing. And the fulfillment of whatever it is that you need. And finally, please acknowledge that you're doing this practice tonight, not just for yourself, but to help it to ease the sufferings of all sentient beings everywhere. And now I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. And slowly open your eyes, keeping a relaxed gaze. And I invite you to focus your gaze upon our statuette of Ma Dakshinkali. Just focus upon that image. Breathe deeply. Try to be aware of what the image brings to you in terms of thoughts or ideas or feelings or emotions. And as you do this, I invite you to listen to her story that I'm about to share with you. South of Kathmandu city is the temple of Dakshinkali, meaning the Kali of the southern direction, a form of the Divine Mother who is both destructive and yet very protective of her children. It is said that the Dakshinkali temple was built after the goddess Kali herself appeared in the dream of a Malla king, a ruler in the 14th century. In this dream, the goddess appeared to the king naked and with black skin, and with multiple hands. She held a trident, a sword, a shield, and the severed head of a demon. She was crouched in the birth-giving position upon the corpse-like form of Lord Shiva, and her two remaining hands grasped a section of viscera taken from his abdomen, from which she was feeding. The goddess commanded the king to build a temple dedicated to her in a very unknown and strange place at the bottom of a valley. And in return for building this temple, she said, her his subjects would be protected from all diseases and misfortunes. Soon after the king's dream, another person living in the area reported that he had discovered a stone image of the goddess Kali in the same place where the Divine Mother commanded the king to build her temple. The image was then left open to the elements as she commanded, and over her head a gilded cover was erected with four golden serpents supporting it. In addition to the image of Dakshinkali, images of Lord Ganesha were also placed, and sculptures of the Ashtamatrika, the 8 little mother goddesses, and also a stone image of Bhairava, the wrathful Shiva, was placed, along with these other images, in her inner sanctum. As Yama's consort, Dakshinkali is called for the protection from disease, misfortune, and death. On Tuesdays and Saturdays, Kali's holy days associated with Mars and Saturn, respectively, animals, especially cockerels and uncastrated male goats, are brought by devotees for sacrifice. They are slaughtered in the temple's inner courtyard by quick decapitation, and their meat is cooked and shared during family celebrations, such as weddings, success in business, or a child passing his or her 10th grade exams and becoming eligible for university. Dakshinkali is often pictured showing a balance between the benevolent and the destructive sides of her personality. With both feet upon Lord Shiva and assuming a squatting, birth-giving posture, she is multi-armed with 2 hands grasping the viscera torn from her consort's abdomen, which she devours. The coiled viscera represents the rising Kundalini Shakti through the central Sushumna channel of the spine, which facilitates yogic enlightenment. It also signifies the complete surrender of the devotee toward the Divine Mother. In most spiritual paths, the more dynamic polarities are viewed as masculine, and the more receptive energies as feminine. In some tantric approaches, however, involving goddess Kali, these roles are reversed. Kali takes the more dominant role, and Shiva the more passive. The goddess represents the laws which govern the universe, Purusha, while the god embodies the energy and matter under the influence of those laws, Prakriti. Ma Dakshinkali exists as the most wrathful of the wrathful, yet she provides enlightenment to those who can let go of their fears, especially the ultimate fear, the fear of death itself. In truth, we are all Lord Shiva, effectively dead until we are touched by the energy of the divine Shakti, which enlivens us to our full potential. In Himalayan Buddhism, Yama, also called Vajrabhairava, is often pictured with the head of a buffalo, which is also his mount. The buffalo stands upon the body of a man. Yama holds a katvanga, skull-topped staff, and a section of rope, which he uses to ensnare the souls of the dead. He is in a state of excitement, and he is accompanied by his consort Chamunda Dakshinkali, who offers him a drink from her kapala, an offering cup made from a human skull. Jai Ma Dakshinkali. Jai Ma Dakshinkali. Jai Ma Dakshinkali. Namah. I now invite you to close your eyes and keep breathing deeply. and listen to my words as I take you through this practice, step by step. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Pay. With your eyes closed, I invite you to hold the image of the Dakshinkali statue in your mind, meditating upon her form. And we will recite her mantra 12 times. Om Krim Kalake Namah. 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 Now that the mantra is completed, I invite you to visualize yourself seated in front of Ma Dakshinkali, and you are meditating upon her. And then as you breathe deeply, begin to visualize your body slowly turning into black smoke. See yourself slowly dissolving into smoke, as if your body is slowly being burned away. It might also manifest as a black, tar-like nectar. And now send your smoke or nectar toward Dakshinkali and let her drink of it or breathe it in. You might even see your smoke entering her through her third eye. Just watch the essence of your body slowly being absorbed by the Divine Mother. See every last ounce of you enter her. And at this point, you are now only looking upon her as an observer. And once you've been consumed by her, you gaze upon her, especially her fearsome appearance, but also noticing the motherly or grandmotherly expression upon her face. So now I invite you to merge your consciousness with hers. You stand and you approach her slowly. You bow to her in reverence. And then you embrace her. You encircle her with your arms as she encircles you with her multiple arms. And as you embrace, you merge into one being. And it will be at this point when you feel some emotional shift occurring, some kind of change in your felt sense. Try to be aware of what you feel. Maybe an electrical charge, or a vibration, or a release. Whatever it is, feel it, and especially where it occurs in your physical body. Whether in the original area you were meditating on or somewhere else. Just witness any changes without judgment and honor the transformation that's taking place within you. Om Krim Kalake Namah. Om Krim Kalake Namah. Om Krim Kalake Namah. And now rest for a while in a state of stillness and in a place of silence. And use this time to fully integrate the practice and its experience into your being. Nothing else to do at this point. Nothing to accomplish or analyze. Just being in the present moment. Pay. 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 I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath. And slowly bringing the palms of your hands to your heart center. Being aware of letting the meditation go and being aware of your surroundings once again. The floor underneath you, the clothes that cover you, temperature of the air on your skin, the sound of my voice. Giving thanks to the Divine Mother in all of her forms, especially that form that resides within you, knowing she's with you always, guiding you, healing you, protecting you, teaching you. And also giving gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice tonight, knowing you can replay the recording of this broadcast in the future whenever you have a need to do this meditation again. Slowly opening your eyes. Namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And make a point of noticing the subtle changes that this practice may produce in you in the days ahead. Maybe some interesting dreams, some flashes of insight. Maybe you notice yourself handling a situation differently, maybe even just a little differently from the way you have previously. And also, it may take more than one experiencing of this meditation to really bring about the changes you need. And so please feel free to replay this broadcast and do this meditation again and again if it feels right to do that. And as always, please share with me your personal experiences with this and also any questions that you might have. You can always email me at omcdevi, AUMCDEVI at gmail.com. You can also message me at my channel. And I mentioned before, you can modify this practice also for a deity of your own choosing. Steps are very simple. Have an image of your chosen deity. This could also be a guru figure as well, in front of you, at a comfortable distance and at eye level. Breathe deeply. Meditate on the image. Maybe think about a particular story associated with your deity. Ask for the deity's help and whatever you're working with at this time. And then slowly close your eyes and hold that image in your mind's eye. Meditate on it for a time. And then feel and visualize your body turning into vapor or smoke or nectar, and it going to the deity and being consumed by the deity. And then when everything's been consumed, you go over to the deity, bow with reverence, and embrace the deity and become one with it. And most importantly, be aware of anything you feel as you do that. That's really the thing that shows that you're making a change. The transformation is taking place, is by that shift taking place in your felt sense. So once again, I want to thank everybody for joining me this evening. This would include, looks like Elizabeth, thank you for joining me. And grab my glasses here so I can read the names. And Jayoza, thank you for joining me, and everybody else who is joining live. And I'd also like to thank everybody who will be watching the recording of this broadcast in the future. Please take some time for some quiet contemplation before resuming the evenings or the day's activities. And I look forward to you joining me on Tuesday for our puja and satsang for Ma Kalaratri. Again, the night of darkness, and we're certainly coming into the dark time of year. We're approaching the winter solstice. And so it's a wonderful time to be doing inner transformative work. So until then, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Thank you again. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time. Jai Mata Di. Thank you again.